Hello and welcome to day 4 of our 7-day yoga challenge. My name is Jen and I'm super happy to have you joining me for this practice today. Our focus is going to be about the foot and ankle with a little bit of incorporation into balance. So part of that link between the ankle and balance is a lot of times when we challenge ourselves in the certain yoga postures, you can really feel that ankle moving around and getting a lot of work in some of those stabilizing muscles. So I like to put those hand in hand together. So with that, props we will need. Definitely going to use a strap today. We're actually going to use it first thing once we're down on our backs. So if you do not have a strap, I'm going to be using a pant belt just to demonstrate. And then I like to loop the belt through to where I have a little circle at the end. So if you want to have that close by. And final things before we lay it on back is we got the yoga playlist below. So if you want to listen to some music while we're moving, feel free to use those links. There's a Spotify and an Apple. And with that, we will get started. We're going to begin on our backs for practice today. So just making your way down, getting cozy. And then we'll keep the knees bent, so we're already working on rooting through the feet. You can lay your arms up, maybe palm down or palm up, whatever feels better. Then we'll close the eyes and start to focus on that in and out breath. So as I've mentioned the previous days, as we start to concentrate on breath, we're looking for that inhale through the nose, breath to the chest and to the belly, so pushing the breath down a little lower than you normally do. Once you're kind of getting that pattern of breath in, doing that mental and physical check-in. So we're always wanting to draw some awareness to how we're feeling before we start practice, so we can set that intention and awareness as we move through class. So if you're noticing there's pain in a spot, you're going to honor that as you move, not pushing. To always do how I teach, but how your body feels, how you're what you're needing. Your feet are not hip distance apart, go ahead and make it to where they are. Have those knees pointed to the ceiling, and as we take our last couple breaths, I want you to draw some awareness to the feet, the bottoms of the feet pressing against the floor. So maybe noticing the surface sensation below your feet, whether it's your yoga mat, the carpet, the flooring. You can just start to feel like you're pushing down through the feet. If you want to take even a little bridge, we'll start to lift those hips up. So either just pressing down slightly or maybe even creating a little mini bridge pose. And then if you have those hips lifted, go ahead and lower it back down. We'll take a few more of those. So either pressing all 4 corners of the feet, so big toe, pinky toe side, both edges of the heels, then lifting up. Or just maintaining that pressure symmetrically across the feet. And back down. We'll do one more lift. And then back down. Then starting to open up those eyes. We're going to take that left knee in towards the body. You can interlace the fingers on top of the knee or grab it behind the leg. Just holding into that stretch sensation. If you feel too sharp of pinching in the front of the hip, you can try to weave that leg out and hug it back in. Then we'll slide those hands in behind that left thigh and start to extend the heel up towards the ceiling. So I don't care how flexed your knee is, find where you're getting a little bit of a stretch in the hamstrings, but nothing too intense. We're just gonna start to flex and point the foot. Then I want you to pause halfway in the middle and feel like you're taking the foot side to side. So lifting the pinky edge of the foot up and then the big toe edge. Noticing that fires up some different muscles. I'll take one more. Then you'll bend that leg enough to start to bring the strap either underneath your foot or looping that pant belt around the foot. Find some extension through the knee to where you're getting a light stretch, and we're just gonna start to circle out the leg. So you can slide your hands down enough that you can relax against the strap. You don't have to hold your arms way off. Just find a nice circle. You can make them really little or maybe really big. Loosening into that hip joint now. And then take a few the other way. Let's finish one more around. And then bending the knee, letting the arm come inside of the leg. Let's do a little half happy baby. So you're just drawing that knee and foot down out to the side. You might create that inner thigh stretch with this. And then releasing. Taking that strap off the knee, keeping it to the side, start to hug that right knee in towards the body. Landing the hands on top of the knee or wrapping them underneath. Make sure we're still concentrating on that in and out breathing. And then go ahead and wrap the hands in behind the right leg. Start to extend that heel towards the ceiling, creating a light stretch in the back of the leg, and then starting to flex and point the right foot. And taking the foot side to side. So lifting that big toe edge and the pinky toe edge. Let's take it one more breath. And then taking our strap or belt, place it underneath the right foot. Start to slide the hands down the straps. So both edge of the straps or this belt. And then we'll start to circle out the leg. So just depending on how tight your hip joint is will determine how big you can make those circles. So just finding a sweet spot where you're getting a little stretch. And taking a few the other way. Once you finish this last one up, we'll meet back in neutral. Then you're going to take that half happy baby, so drawing that knee to the outside of the arm, and just feel like you're pressing that right knee, right foot towards the floor. Just to where you can. And then releasing out of it. Placing that strap off to the side, and then go ahead and hug those knees in towards the body. Find a little sway side to side. Just giving that low back a massage. There's no day we don't need a little bit of this. And then making your transition to seated. So remember, you can roll to one side and gently press yourself up. Or maybe you take a few rounds of rocking. Getting that up and down massage for the spine. I'll turn and face you so that you can see me. And we'll start sitting up nice and tall. So if you want to slip a blanket underneath of the hips, you can. We'll close the eyes for a moment, checking in with our posture. So rocking those hips forward, engaging across the abdominals, gently squeezing the shoulder blades, and then gently tucking the chin in towards the chest. So drawing that line from the base of the tailbone all the way through the crown of the head. Knowing that even sitting unsupported can take a lot of muscle movement, a lot of muscle strength. So it's a workout in itself. And then go ahead and open the eyes. We'll reach those arms up overhead, full stretch for the spine. We're just gonna take one seated twist. So starting to turn your torso over to the left, bringing your right hand to land on your left knee, your left hand in behind the body. Grow the spine tall on the inhale, and then exhale, ring out that middle of the body. Start to unwind, belly, chest, chin to the front. Inhale, sweep those arms up overhead. Exhale, start twisting to the right, releasing the hands down. Left hand hooks to right knee, right hand in behind the back. Inhale, grows the spine tall. Exhale, twist. Then unwinding belly, chest, chin to the front. Inhale the arms up overhead. And then exhale, pull them into the heart. We'll make our way from here onto tabletop. So rolling off to one side, however you need to transition. Stacking those knees under the hips, stacking the hands under the shoulders, all 10 fingers pressing. And then we'll tuck the toes to the mat. So we're just gonna do a little forward and backwards rocking. This can create a little stretch in the big toe and the arch of the foot. So just finding a sweet spot there. No pain, just a stretch. Maybe holding back to a count of 2 or 3 and then just rocking forward. Take one more ankle stretch here. So as we drop the tops of the feet, a lot of people here, I can even turn. So a lot of people kind of have this inward rotation of their feet. So I want you to try to keep those feet pointed straight ahead and then lean some weight back and then rock it forward. If you need to stick a little towel or pillow underneath the ankle joints to make that more comfortable, you can. Just take a few of those, noticing that foot placement. I sometimes can get a good ankle pop here too. So once again, just holding a couple seconds and then maybe rocking it back up. Awesome. Then from there, we'll tuck the toes again, and this time lifting up and back for our downward facing dog. Our first one, so bring those feet hip distance apart. You can start to pedal it out, shake it out, rocking the hips side to side, bending one knee back and forth. Remember to press all 10 fingers. Make sure you can shake your head yes and no. Then we'll drop those knees back down. Let the belly start to fall to the floor, lifting up for our cow pose. Exhale to round out to cat. Then coming to neutral, push yourself up to downward facing dog. So not worrying about perfectly straight legs. We're just warming into the calves, the hamstrings. You can still shake it out a couple breaths. And then we're going to do that little transition 2 more times through. So rocking first. And then lowering those knees down. Sink the belly, open the heart, looking up. Exhale to round out the spine. Coming to neutral, rocking it fully back, downward facing dog. Still shaking it out or pedaling it out if you need to, really getting into those calves. So down dog is neat because you can stretch both calf muscles, the one that can be stretched with a straight knee and the one that can be stretched with a bent knee. So when we're pedaling it out, we really can get both those muscles loosened up. Go ahead and drop those knees down, let the belly fall, open the heart, looking up. And exhale, coming into cat. Hugging that belly button in, pushing the mat away. Coming to neutral and back to downward facing dog. Then looking forward, let's go ahead and walk those feet up to meet the hands. Feet hip distance apart, knees bent as graciously as you need to let your body melt forward. Grabbing opposite elbows, or just letting gravity just release you down. Finding a sway if that feels good. And just use that breath to release. And then very slowly release those elbows if you took the bind. Start making your way into standing. So very slowly coming up for the first one. That avoids any dizziness. Rolling those shoulders back. And then reaching your arms up to the ceiling. So from here, we're going to start playing with a little balance right off. So we're just going to lift those heels slightly off the floor. And then exhale to come back down. Inhale to lift up. Little pop of my ankles. Exhale to come down. Inhale to come up. Exhale to come down. One more time. Inhale to come up. And now try to go the opposite way. So lifting the toes and back. Lifting the toes and back. Lifting the toes and back. And then lifting the toes and back. Awesome. Pull those hands into the heart. Start to sit those hips down. We're going to find a chair pose. So you don't want those knees going over the feet. You want to feel like you're sitting your hips back, like you're going for an invisible chair. And then notice that correction I just did for my tailbone. So you really hug that belly in, opening up through the chest. And we'll hold in our chair. Feeling those thighs burning a little bit, and then seeing if we can take a little twist to the left, nothing deep. Pass to center, and then little twist to the right. Coming back through center. One more time, twist to the left, just a little turn. Coming to center, and then a little twist to the right. And to center. Go ahead and release the whole body back down. Find that forward fold. Then from here, we're going to take warrior one. So that right foot's going to step back. Feet are hip distance apart. That back foot's at a 45-degree angle. We start to inhale up. You can use the support of the front leg, hands on the hips, or bringing the arms all the way up overhead. So glancing down, make sure that knee to foot alignment is there in the front foot. So you can draw one line, and then you can take your gaze back up, scooping in the belly. And playing with one more little heel lift. Can you lift the heel in our warrior one? So that front heel just lifting up, coming back down. Just taking a couple. If it really throws off your balance, bring your hands back to your hips. Find that point of focus. Let's do one more. And then slowly bring the hands down. Frame that foot. Turn that back heel up. Step the right foot to meet the left. And we'll take the other side. Left foot steps back. 45-degree angle. Feet are hip distance apart. Start to find that point of focus as you rise up. Take whichever option you need for support. Glance down at that knee to foot alignment. And once you got it, looking back up, scooping in the belly. And then playing with that front heel lift, so right foot, heels coming up and just back down, just finding a quick little lift. And one more. And then slowly bringing the hands down. Turn that back heel. Then this time step the right foot to meet the left and meet me in down dog. If you need to drop to child's pose for a second, you can. Take a few breaths here, then do one challenge in down dog. So as you've taken a few, you really want to think of sticking that booty up and back. All 10 fingers are still pressing into the mat. That protects your shoulders. Then we're going to lift the heels off the floor here and then twist and dial them down towards the left corner of the mat. And then sweeping the heels to center and then taking them to the back right-hand corner. Then passing them back into center. And then very slowly, you're gonna walk your hands back this time to meet your feet. So we're at the back half of the mat, taking our forward fold. And then very slowly, you rise and lift it up. One fluid movement. Hands come all the way up overhead. And then pull the hands into the heart. So playing with a little balance here. I can demonstrate first. So we're going to step that right foot. Hands will still be right over the heart. We're going to step that right foot to the middle of the mat. And then very slowly, you're going to start to hinge forward, making sure you're not fully locking that right knee. And then maybe you look just like this with the toes just barely pulsing off. If you can come a little more forward, you can play with a full warrior 3. Maybe even reaching the arms up overhead. So see what feels good. Find that point of focus. Really feel all 5 corners of that right foot. If you fall out of it, it's okay. Just pop back in. See if we can do 3 more breaths. Step that left foot back, bring the right foot back, and we'll take the other side so you can shake out your ankles. And then we'll take the other side, so left foot steps forward, get strong, all 4 corners of the foot. Then start to hinge forward, and then play with option 1 of just kind of pulsing that right foot, or play with that full letter T like you're making the letter with your body and the leg, warrior 3 pose. Reaching arms overhead would be the more intense option. Couple more breaths. If you fall out of it, it's okay. It's play, it's practice. That's the point. And very slowly coming out of it. Awesome. Shake it out. I'm gonna have us do one more standing balance posture, and I'll turn towards you so you can see me. So we'll bring the hands on the hips, and then getting strong, we'll do the right foot first. So spreading out the toes nice and wide, finding that point of focus. Then you're just gonna bring that left foot forward and back to center. To the left and back to center. And then taking it back just slightly and back to center. So if you need the support of the floor, you can always just tap the toes to those points. But let's do it one more time through. So left foot comes forward, back to center, to the left, back to center, and straight back, and back to center. Getting strong in that left foot, you can shake out the right for a moment. We'll take the other side. Finding that point of focus, then right foot kicks forward, and to center, to the side, and to center, then straight back, and to center. One more time. Forward, and center, right, and center, and then left, hand center. Beautiful, shake it out. All right, stepping back to the top of our mat, let's take a nice Tadasana, mountain pose. Strong through the feet, lifting those inner arches up if you tend to have that collapse, tightening through the thighs, the tummy, and then opening those shoulders up, strong mountain pose. Then inhale, arms lift up overhead. Exhale to take it down, forward fold. Inhale to a halfway lift. And then exhale to come down. Stepping it back into plank, and then just go ahead and drop the knees. We're gonna bring the knees out nice and wide, bring the big toes together to touch, and then sit it back into child's pose. You can bring your forearms in, maybe rest your forehead down. And we'll hang out here just a couple breaths. Let's do one more inhale. Then bring it forward just enough that you can drop to one side. Bring the feet in front of the body. Coming into a nice seated position, we're gonna take bound angle pose. So if you are in this posture and it's really, really tight in your hips, you kind of look like this, then we definitely need a pillow or a block underneath the hips. So you want to have that ability to keep the spine tall so that you don't get more impingement through the hip joints. And then once you find it, those big toes, bottoms of the feet come together to touch. And then from here, we're just going to use our hands to give ourselves a little foot massage. So just rubbing into any tight place along the arch of the foot. And I've heard the illustration before, like we're opening our feet like it's a book. So finding that nice massage point anywhere that feels tight on the top or the bottom of the foot. And from there, I want you to take the hands up a little more. You can use fists and just kind of hit at the calves, or maybe you take a little bit deeper of a massage But all the muscles in the calves can get so tight, and that really can create a lot of problems for the arch of our foot. Any heel spur problems, plantar fasciitis, all that can be very associated with a weak ankle and really tight calves. All right, then go ahead and rest wherever you are. We'll focus on the hip stretch for just a few more breaths. So you can bring your hands as an anchor at any point on the legs. Close the eyes. And maybe rocking the torso forward, taking a little bit more of a folding. And concentrate back on that inhale and exhale. Start to rise and lift it back up. You can use your hands to assist as you bring those legs in, and we'll start to make our way back onto the back. So using the hands behind the thighs to slowly roll you back. Beautiful. Giving a moment for your spine to settle in. Then once you're ready, we're gonna bring those knees in towards the body, bringing the knees out as wide as we need to. We're gonna send those feet up towards the ceiling, bring the arms inside of the knees. And then you can grab at any point on the leg, if you can actually hook to the outer edges of the feet. You can come into that full version of happy baby. It's completely fine if you're holding closer to the ankle. We're really drawing those knees down towards the floor. And then maybe you even find a little rock side to side. Slowly unwind it, returning those feet down. And then taking any final postures you want to take. We spent a lot of focus on the lower body, so if there's anything else you need, you can pause the video, take any final stretches. If you are ready, we're going to take it to our final meditation, our Savasana. So taking up as much space as you need, starting to extend the legs out long. Bring the arms out to the sides. If you need to slip a pillow under the knees, you can do so. And maybe one final really deep breath, just so we can fully release and settle our bodies to the floor. Soaking in all the benefits of the movement practice. And now giving that benefit to our mind, letting it slow down. Feeling like you're an observer of your natural breathing, so noticing where your breath goes, drawing awareness to sensation of the floor underneath the body. Softening any added tension you're holding, and for several minutes, we'll just be in this stillness. feel free to stay here as long as you need. If you're ready, you just start to deepen the breathing. Gently guide some movement back into the body. Wiggle out the toes, the fingers. Circle the wrists, feet out. And then gently bending up one knee at a time. And making our way onto our side, whichever side is most comfortable, pausing for a moment here. Bringing it back to those sensations in the body, noticing any changes from the beginning of class to now. And soaking in these last couple seconds of stillness. Making your way up to seated when you're ready. Bringing the hands in together over the heart. And having some gratitude for this practice, that change that you can always come to. So if something's feeling off, you can really change your energy on the mat. Just finding some gratitude that you chose to show up today. And some gratitude for the practice. We'll take our final breath together. So inhaling through the nose, sighing it out of the mouth. Inhaling in. And exhale. Thank you for joining me for day 4. Namaste. Thank you all. I hope we are feeling good. Please leave me any comments with suggestions or questions, and I will see you tomorrow for day 5.